Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to another video. Today we're going to be doing our predictions for the Boston Major, and this is the lovely spreadsheet, as usual, brought to you by Cody V on Twitter. It's at CodyVRL. If you want to do this yourself, head to his Twitter, click on the sheet, and then you can make a copy like I've done, and you can get the groups, the bracket, all of the stuff automatically fills in. It's brilliant. So that's what we're going to do in a second, but first I've got a couple of things I need to tell you guys. So you might have heard in recent streams that I've done with, my own streams and also Chalkcast, that I'm not casting the Boston Major. All the EU casters and CJ were not casting the Boston Major. That remains to be true. However, we have managed to sneak our way in. So me and CJ are going to be there. We're going to be view partying from the venue. We're very excited about that. I'm actually getting on a plane in about 9 hours or so. So I better finish up this recording quick and then go to bed so I can get some sleep before I go over there. But yeah, shout out to Shopify Rebellion. They've been really good helping us out, getting everything set up with the view party and accommodating us just like they did with the Ascension Protocol LAN. They're an amazing org. That's not going to make me predict them any differently though. I'm sorry, I'm going to keep my predictions as truthful to what I actually think is going to happen, regardless of how much they've helped us actually get there in person and view party the event for you guys. But yeah, tune into the view parties. We might have a view party here on YouTube, but we'll definitely have a view party here, over on my Twitch. So if there's not a YouTube view party, it's probably on Twitch. We probably couldn't figure out how to get the YouTube one working. Anyway, yeah, we're going to be there. So let's take a look at the groups. If you've not been in the loop, Boston Major is coming up this weekend. It's starting on Thursday. And, well, these are the teams who've made it here. So NRG, Power, and Ninjas Pajamas. Five Fears is your Group A. That's a group of life. We've got a group of death in Group B, Falcons, Furia, Redacted, and GK. Group C is another group of death, probably the biggest group of death we've ever had in Rocket League history, with KC, Vitality, Twisted, and Space Station. And then another group of life, I would say, in Gentlemates, Rebellion, Mibber, that's made in Brazil, and Dela Cruz. Now, I'll go over who all these teams are if you're not familiar with them. Don't worry, I'll cover that as we go through here. But yeah, let's just jump into this. It's group stage. It's not Swiss this time, so nice round robin groups. I love this. I think this is really interesting. Get to see all but one cross-region matchups. The only same region matchup in groups is Vitality KC. There had to be one because there's 5 EU teams. But every other match is going to be cross-region, which is what majors are all about. It's what international events are all about. So this is fantastic. And interestingly enough, had this been a Swiss stage event, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, round one would have been NRG against, I think it would have been NRG Redacted or Space Station, I forget which one, and then the other one against Shopify. So it literally would have been NA against NA in round one of Swiss, which we don't want to see. Had it a bunch last year. So yeah, groups, excited for this. Very happy that they've made this change. Playoff brackets the same as last time, AFL playoffs. We'll get to that later. Anyway, jumping into the group stage, NRG against Five Fears. Everybody knows who NRG are. They came back from an event 1 9th place in they failed to qualify for Copenhagen with 2 regional wins in a row. The second one a bit more tricky than the first, where they had to go through the lower bracket. They lost to Redacted here, but they got their revenge in the grand final. So yeah, NRG are looking really good. Against Five Fears, who are the South African representative. Five Fears and Pioneers are the 2 top teams. As you can see, very close in points. They made every grand final. Pioneers is To Die For, Luis, and Sweaty. I thought they were going to win, but they didn't. It was Five Fears who won. That's Guns, Snowy, and Tekos. So 2/3 of the South Africa team at FIFA E playing with Tekos. Yeah, I think they're going to get swept. No offense to them. I don't think that they're going to... no, they're not going to get swept 33-0. I think they're going to get swept 3-0 though. Now, the scorelines will matter here. So I'm not going to make any crazy, dumb scoreline predictions. I will try and guess the scoreline as well. Not going to be giving anybody any games for free because it could end up being a tiebreaker or it could be relevant in a tiebreaker. But okay, Ninjas and Pajamas Power. Now, despite the fact that Group A overall, I think is the weakest group in power level, I don't think it's as clear-cut as Group D is. I'll get to that later, but Power might actually be able to do something here. We've seen Ninjas lose to Redacted, who've obviously turned out to be a very good team, but they lost to them in Copenhagen. They fell apart pretty shambolically, to be honest. And when Ninjas lose, they lose badly. When they play badly, they play really badly. So there is actually a chance for Power to do something here. That being said, I don't think it's going to happen. But because I think there's a possibility of some tomfoolery from Ninjas, I don't want to make it a 3-1 Or do I make it a 3-2? I think there seriously is some tomfoolery here. I'm going to make it 3-2. Yeah, all that to say that I think Power actually have an upset opportunity here. First match of the tournament, the fact it's just match one for them is, I think, even more chance for them. Power, by the way, not the famous wildcard roster who just made top 6 at Worlds, Fever, Torsos, Banana Head. They've been usurped in OCE by Fiber, Gus, and Super Lucky. So these are players we've seen in the scene for a long time. Not a team that Ninjas can take lightly, especially with OCE actually doing quite well in FIFA E and quite very well in the World Championship. So definitely, I think a closer match than some people might realize. NRG Ninjas. So Ninjas Pajamas. I don't know if I didn't actually mention who that is literally, but it's the same team who played in the Copenhagen LAN at the start of the season. CRR, Jorias, Oli. 2/3 of the Netherlands team who got swept 4-0 by USA, aka NRG, in FIFA E. Now, I think CRR is an upgrade on Mike Boy, who Netherlands had, but he's not that. It's not like going to be I've written 3 in Ninjas. My bias showing through there for a second. I don't think it's enough of an upgrade to change my opinion that NRG are going to win this quite easily. Well, I'll give Ninjas 1 because I think there's there's a clear difference here between 5 Fears and Ninjas, so we'll put a 1 on the board there. But I think I'm more confident in NRG beating Ninjas than I am in Ninjas beating Power. That's why I'm giving them a more close score here. Now, Power 5 Fears. Power just have to make sure that they win this. They shouldn't lose to 5 Fears. But I mean, it's OCE, so we'll give 5 Fears a game. OCE always manage to do something silly when they're supposed to win, and then they actually look decent sometimes in the games where they're the underdog. Very good sometimes when they're the underdog. But yeah, 5 Fears have just got a lot of work to do to get up to the level that OCE have shown us in FIFA E Worlds. So, OCE seem like they're on the regain. South Africa's got to make that jump, although the addition... Well, I think South Africa's in a much better place this season with the 2/3 rule, preventing full import teams coming in. NRG Power, well, with everything we said so far, I'm just going to put these scores in 3-0, and Ninjas over 5 Fears 3-0. I don't think I really need to explain those ones. NRG are super consistent. Even though in group stage at LANs, well, there hasn't been a group stage at LANs in a while, but even though they're less consistent in the early stages of tournaments, Swiss stages and majors previously, they are still easily good enough to sweep Power. And the fact that further on in the group, they're already, I think, essentially qualified here. Yeah, pretty much. They've gone 3-0, 3-1. So I don't know if they're actually qualified, but it would be pretty close in every tiebreak scenario already. I think they're just going to 3-0 that. Ninjas, yeah, don't think they're going to have too much difficulty with 5 Fears. They're just probably too good. So yeah, that's my group. Pretty clear cut. NRG, Ninjas, Power, and then 5 Fears. But I am thinking this is going to be close. And if Power do win that, then they make it out of the group, simply. So that's why I think this group might be a bit closer than Group D will end up being. Okay, Group B. Honestly, the hardest group to predict, I think. Group C is the hardest group, the group of death, but this is the next hardest group, and it looks very similar to you guys. If you remember the group at Esports World Cup last year that had Falcons, Furia, GK, and it was the former Rebellion roster. It was Ultimates, so 2/3 of what is now Shellfire Rebellion. Crazy group, and it was an insane group of death back then, still is now. It's only because we got Group C that nobody's calling Group B the group of death. If Group C didn't exist, this would be called the group of death because it's ridiculous. Okay, Falcons. They've added Drally with the Twins. Furia is the Brazil roster from FIFA E. Drafinho's no longer on the team. They've got Swift with Yan and Lost. Redacted, amazing team coming out of NA, showing some, I think, really exciting Rocket League as well as good results. I love watching them play. Great personalities as well. And GK, I'm obviously biased for this team with my colleague, with my co-conspirator Jack on the Next Rank YouTube channel, which, by the way, quick mention, we've done 3 massive Q&A videos recently answering all your guys' questions, all of the TNR members' questions. So head over to the Next Rank YouTube channel if you want to watch myself and Jack answering those while Jack booms the ball around in free play and does things that I can't do. But he didn't score open nets. It's not that. GK, Jack, Joyo, and now with Seiko this season as well. But I think Falcons are the clear favorite here. The other team's very, very close. But let's get into the predictions. Falcons, GK. Jack did struggle a lot with Falcons last year. Seiko, Joyo, Jack. Yeah, I don't think they're gonna have too much of a chance here. I think just the fact that the Jack's Dignitas struggled so much with Falcons last year makes me very confident in this one being a Falcons favored matchup. And when Falcons get rolling, they're very hard to stop. So I think I'm just gonna say 3-0 there. And like I said, Shopify, my GK, if you want to call it bias with my business partner Jack. I'm not letting that influence my predictions. I promise. I mean, you can see it. I'm not. But let's see as we continue on here. Now, this is I think the most interesting match of the group. Just like Powerverse Ninjas in Group A, this is where you're probably going to find out who makes it out of Group B. Right here. I think it's as simple as that. If Redacted win this, I think they're going to have just such good vibes and so much confidence that they should be good enough to make it out. But if Furia win, then we've seen what Brazilian teams can do in the past. We've seen what Jan can do in the past. Lost, and Swift is very, very good. So this is a big match. I've accidentally broke the sheet. Let me undo that. Redacted. This is going to be high pressure for them. I'm kind of, I'm saying that, the team who wins this should make it out, but we'll see. I'm going to lean Furia here. I think that people are maybe sleeping on Furia a little bit because Brazil was on the downtrend last season. Well, actually, Furia were in the downtrend, but Sam 2 was on the up. Team Secret had some great results at the end of the season. Now you've taken the best player in Team Secret, in my opinion, added him into Furia. You just need a little bit of a change sometimes. The Jan lost Rafinho had ran its course. Now they've got that new spice. They look very good at FIFA E. I think that they're probably going to win this, but I think it's very close. It's pretty much a coin flip for me. Had it been later in the group, if it was in round 2 or 3, I think that helps Redacted because Furia are more experienced in this setting. Not that Redacted were bad in Copenhagen at all, but majors are a different level of nerves. But okay, it doesn't get any easier for Redacted. They're up against Falcons. I think they might be able to get a game though here because they don't have that, same. They don't know yet. They've not lost to Falcons a million times and been completely bodied. Hopefully they don't get bodied too much in scrims. But yeah, once teams do that, they kind of lose hope and it just looks worse and worse every time they play the number 1 MENA team Falcons. But Redacted haven't had that yet. I think their ignorance will help them and maybe get them again. And okay, Furia GK. Furia have... I want to say that GK can come in and upset here. I think it would even be an upset. Yeah, why not? I think this is interesting. This is the closest group. And I think this would make sense. It's really hard to predict close groups because you think it's all going to be close and then there's just a bunch of 3-0s. I'm going to stick to the 3-2s. I think, Furia, they have struggled with European competition. And yeah, Dignitas lost, Jack's team lost to Falcons really badly last year. They did beat Furia pretty easily. So I'm going to say GK here. And then going into the last round, we all know what happens every time I think I've just typed... No, I didn't type 33 again. We all know what happens every time Falcons play Furia, Saudi Arabia play Brazil. That's probably a sweep. And then Redacted GK. So, okay, scenarios here. GK have got a win, Furia have got 1 win. If Redacted... Actually, it's just if Redacted win this at all, they qualify, because they would move up ahead of Furia in game win-loss. You know what? I reckon they're going to do it. I'm sorry to GK, sorry to Furia, but why not have a 3-2, 3-2, 3-2, resulting in a 3-way tie, so they can't be separated based on the results against each other. They're separated by who can get a game off Falcons, and out of those 3 teams, I think Redacted are probably the team that's most likely to get a game, because they just don't know yet. The naivety will help them. Does that make sense? But yeah, I guess this will be considered a bold prediction. It's pretty bold to predict 3-way tie. But Redacted making it out, I don't think that's a bold prediction. I think they are probably the favourites to get second. But I think it's going to be close. I hope it is this. This would be an exciting way for it to happen. But wow, GK end up all the way down here. I don't know why they end up 4th. Or if they just get a 3rd equal. I'm not sure. Do they get any extra points here? Do they just get last? Whatever it is, that's an unfortunate way to go down. Just dead tied on game win-loss, and you've lost. Hopefully I really wish they would add some kind of goal scored, goals get a goal difference tiebreaker instead of just having it be initial seed. But I digress. Let's move on. Okay, Group C, the group of death. Karmine Corp against SSG. I'm pretty confident KC are going to keep rolling. Do I need to? I probably don't need to introduce you guys to Karmine Corp, Vitality, SSG, of course, Diaz, Reveal, and Chronic, and Twisted Minds, Naupo, teaming up this season with TRK and Monkey Moon. Yeah, this is probably going to be KC's match pretty comfortably. I think Space Station they could get a game. I'll give them a game. I think they're good enough to get a game. Yeah, they're good enough to get a game. But I think it's not a 3-2 though. I think KC win that. Vitality Twisted. We saw Zen against Naupo at the start of last season. Absolute banger of a match. I think this is going to be no different. But unfortunately for Vitality, I do think Twisted are going to win. I think Twisted are super strong. And Vitality have just been gatekeeping, really. They've not been... I mean, they've had the odd match that's decent, but against other world-class competition, for some reason, they just can't. They just make mistakes. So I think Twisted are probably going to punish a lot of those mistakes and win. Moving into the next round, Karmine Corp against Twisted. I think Karmine Corp win that. I'll give Twisted a game 5 though, because this one is harder for me to be confident about that one than against Space Station. I'll say Karmine Corp beat Vitality before. We don't need to think of sorry, the sheet's a bit laggy. I did type 3 in KC there. But I think KC beat Vitality. They always do. So say a 3-1. Vitality can get games, but they don't get series. And okay, so now on to the other matches. Vitality, SSG, Space Station. They completely smashed Vitality in Copenhagen. And then you also had the history of Reveal having a dominant start against Vitality at Worlds last year, and then losing. They also got mopped at EWC. Every time these two teams play, somebody's getting mopped. And has the pendulum swung completely to Space Station is a question. I'm going to say no. I think this time Vitality will come out on top in a best of 5. I think they're going to win the best of 5 in game 5, because that sounds exciting. I'm not as much. A lot of people have got, and I think fairly, Vitality last in this group because they've looked pretty, unreliable, very unreliable recently. And this group is kind of like the nightmare group for them. Space Station have beaten them recently. Twisted Minds are one of the strongest, if not, I think the strongest team that you can draw out of their pool of teams. Actually, they just are. The KC are the best team right now in my power rankings, and I think in most people's power rankings, probably the tournament favorites. If you ignore who's in what group, which just quietly, the fact NRG make it out of their group in 99.9% of situations, maybe just 100, does that make them tournament favorites? I think it might do, because KC's group's much harder, Falcon's group's much harder. These are your 3 tournament favorites. NRG's group's the easiest of the bunch, so I think they might just be the favorites of the tournament because they've got the easiest group of the 3 favorites, if that makes sense. But yeah, I think Karmine Corp are the top team power ranking wise. Anyway, Twisted SSG, I do think Twisted will win that. So I'm sorry, SSG. I've got you losing the group of death. I didn't mean to type a 3 there. I think SSG probably lose a group of death. They've been too inconsistent for me recently online. They started the season really well. Copenhagen, they look great. Since then, I've not been as convinced. Event 2 and Event 3, not as good for SSG. So I think that I'm more happy with the Vitality trending upwards. That's why I'm going to go Vitality over them. But neither of them as good as Twisted. I think Twisted are the clear best team. Yeah, in their group of teams coming in. Not one of the top seeds, just a second seed coming in. Unbelievable team. Okay, Group D. Let's see who we got here. Gentlemates versus Dela Cruz. Now, Dela Cruz, they did win every APAC regional. And this is the 2/3 of last season's, was it Virtus Pro? Yeah, it was Virtus Pro. Catalysm and Sphinx played last season with Sosa. With the 2/3 rule, they could no longer do that because Catalysm is an import, Sosa was an import. So they've got Kevin. They've won every regional, and now they go up against Gentlemates. That's a tough one. What can I say? I think that's probably going to be a sweep for Gentlemates because, yeah, Gentlemates hot off an EU regional win, and yeah, they're they're just a pretty good team, aren't they? They've only lost one series this season to a team not named Karmine Corp, which is pretty ridiculous. I'll show you guys if you don't believe that. But if we look at Boston Open 1, which was the first regional of the season, which finished in Copenhagen, I'm not looking at the Swiss stage. Gentlemates actually have lost Swiss series, but in main events, they lost to Karmine Corp, and then they also lost to Vitality in a game of 7, a best of 7 that went to game 7 for Vitality, won 3 games in a row at the end, including 2 overtimes. So yeah, pretty close match there. Event 2, Gentlemates, if we go to the main event, lost to, nobody in the group stage. And then they lost to Karmine Corp again. So they've got 2 losses to Karmine Corp, 1 loss to Vitality, which was super close. Event 3, they didn't lose to anyone. They just won the event. So they literally have only got that 1 blemish on the record. They're looking very strong, Gentlemates. But okay, now to explain why I said I think Group D is more clear-cut. I think although Mibber, made in Brazil, have won an event. They won Boston Open 2 in Sam. I think that they're probably still going to struggle a bit against international comp. Razebull, Astromic, Sad. Good to see Astromic back. He always finds a way to get back onto a LAN qualifying team, which is awesome. And Sad, KBM, God, love it. Razebull, no introduction needed. But yeah, the event they won, they didn't beat Furia, which kind of makes it's not a Mickey win. But yeah, Team Secret beat Furia, then Made in Brazil to beat Team Secret. So they beat the team and beat Furia. Fair enough. But I'm not sure where to put this team yet. Until they actually beat Furia, I don't think that they've not beaten a world-class team yet, So with that being said, I think Rebellion will be too much for them. I think Rebellion should win this. I'm telling you the sheet's lagging. I'm not I'm not saying one thing and typing another. Rebellion should win this 3-1. First killer, LJ. Last season looked pretty good with Chronic. This season with Kofor, they're starting to put it together. They're starting to figure out each other's play styles. They're getting farmed a bit by Redacted and NRG regionally, but they're still extremely solid. And yeah, Made in Brazil haven't beat a world-class team yet, so I'm not willing to predict them to beat one. Same thing here. Yeah, I think I'm more confident that Made in Brazil can't beat Gentlemates because Gentlemates are so solid. So I'm going to say 3-0. Yeah, same reasoning applies. It's like power coming in might be power rank lower than Made in Brazil for most people, including myself. But for some reason, I think they might have upset potential over Ninjas just because OCE's been, doing things recently. Whereas Made in Brazil, this squad, actually, was it the same squad? I should check this because I'm saying it now and I'm doubting what I'm saying. But last season, in the World Championship play-in, yeah, it didn't go too great for this team. Where's the play-in? It's actually, where is it? Qualification? No. What do I need to do? I just scroll down? I just had to scroll down. Okay, my bad. Yeah, Made in Brazil. At that event, it was Brad, Drops, and Razebull. So it was just Razebull returning. They've got Sad and Astromic, which is 2/3 different roster. But yeah, they beat Foot, lost to Virtus Pro, which was APAC. Yeah, the Bull doesn't have the same LAN aura anymore, as the kids say. So I need to see it again before I believe it. And it didn't look like it was there at FIFA either. Yeah, not convincing Made in Brazil, but I want to be. I do want to be. I'll be very quickly changed. My mind will be very quickly changed if they can do something. Rebellion, I think they're 3-0 Dela Cruz, too solid. This will be a revenge match as well because the Org Rebellion lost to Sphinx and Catalysm in the play-in last year, the World's play-in that we just looked at. Yeah, pretty brutal loss there for the Org Rebellion, so I think this will be revenge for them. And then, okay, Made in Brazil, I think they will beat Dela Cruz. I'll give Dela Cruz 1. And Gentlemates Rebellion, I think Gentlemates win that, but I'm going to say in 5. I think it's going to be a banger of a series. So there's my groups as they conclude. Most confident in Group D. Very confident NRG are going to win Group A. Ninjas Pajamas maybe could throw, or Power could upset them if they can peak. Group B, who knows, honestly, but I'm going to say Redacted. Because they have, I think, the best chance of getting a game off Falcons and winning on game diff. And yeah, Group C, I'm going to give Vitality the third here, but I think the top 2 is pretty common. I've seen that top 2 being predicted by a lot of people. And okay, this is the bracket. This is how it all comes together. Do I need to? I think I might need to scroll down a little bit here. Hold on a second. Where's my window? Here it is. Let me just go down slightly and then do this. There we go. That looks a little bit better. So we've got NRG mates in the upper quarters. Falcons, Carmine. Of course, they always run into each other. They've done it here as well. Twisted, Redacted in the lowers, and Rebellion, Ninjas in the lowers. I mean, these are some good matches. I'm telling you that this new groups into AFL playoff might be the best format for entertainment value. I know Swiss could be argued as more fair for competitive integrity purely, but look at how few same region matchup. Have we had any? We've had one, Carmine Vitality. Now it's just all cross region again, which we love to see. I'm going to start in uppers and we'll do lowers. I think Energy over Gentlemates. Energy beat Archie pretty easily at Worlds in Leon. That was a 4-0. However, they did struggle a bit more with Nas and Oski, the other 2/3 of Gentlemates. So I'll put it in the middle. I won't say it's a 4 or a 4-1. I won't say it's 4-3. I'll put it in the middle, 4-2. Because I think Energy like playing Archie, but Nas, Oski maybe not so much. But yeah, into play. When Energy make playoffs, they step it up. This is a team who can really ramp it up as an event goes on. And Falcons Carmine. So Falcons get them in Leon with the original Falcons roster. That was, of course, with Carmine Corp's previous roster. Now Drally switched teams. So Drally, first time against his old team. Oh my goodness. The Twins and Drally against the Copenhagen Kickoff LAN winners, Carmine Corp. I'm going to say, I think Falcons in 7. I've written 4 in the wrong column again. Falcons in 7 in the upper quarters. Early stage in tournaments, Falcons, especially while the Twins are just unstoppable, and now you've added Drally to the mix. Yeah, tough team to beat. Tough team to beat. Not the same team in finals, but early in tournaments, tough team to beat. Okay, let's go to the lowers. Twisted, Redacted. That's a tough match for Redacted. That's a tough draw. I think they would have liked to play. They would have loved to play Rebellion. I think I would pick them over Ninjas as well. This is a bit of a soft semi-final. I think both Twisted and Redacted are stronger than Rebellion and Ninjas, but that's just the way the brackets ended up. And I'm going to say that I'm pretty confident Twisted win this. I'll say 4-1. I can't just put everything down as 4-2 and 4-3. I've got to put a 4-1 or a 4-0 at some point. So I'll put it here. And then this is probably closer on paper, but I think Rebellion will get the job done here. Ninjas have been too inconsistent for me. Throw way too many goals, way too many matches. And Rebellion are quite good at just grinding out low-scoring games. They're kind of like, doing that thing that NRG used to do. And might still do. I don't know. We'll have to pay attention to what they do this event. If you haven't seen NRG in a major... Well, I haven't seen them in RLCS line for a while. They missed one. So let's see if they're going to be that team. Rebellion are kind of becoming that team. Very hard to score on. And I think Ninjas might get frustrated and just get scored on in counter-attacks. I'll say 4-2 though. Because it is a bit closer. I'm less confident in this than I am in this one. Oh, Gentlemates Twisted. That is so tough. I'm going to come back to that because I think Carmine Corp are absolutely mopping the floor with Shopify. I'm sorry, Shopify. Hey, really sorry. Looking forward to hanging out with the Rebellion squads at the major. The players are probably not going to want to talk to us after this one. But yeah, Carmine Corp kind of own that matchup, own that rivalry. So I'll say 4-0. Like I said, can't put 4-3s and 4-2s for everything. It's just boring. I'm going to have to put a 4-3 here, though. Because honestly, I don't know. I mean, okay, well, what's happened? Coming out of groups, they're both... Gentlemates are first in their group. Twisted are second. They've only lost to KC. Gentlemates have only lost to NRG. So they've both only lost to a tournament favourite. But who have they beaten? Twisted have beaten Vitality, SSG. Gentlemates have beaten Rebellion. I mean, I think, just in this event... coming in, I power rank Gentlemates one position higher, but I'm going to go Twisted, because if the bracket falls like this, I like the team coming through the lowers instead of the team coming down. These two matches will be played on different days, though, as will this and this, if I'm not mistaken. It definitely is online. You play these two in a day, and then you just do the rest. So I like the team coming through. I mean, Twisted at this point in tournament, we've got them beating Redacted, Vitality, Space Station. Gentlemates have really only beaten Rebellion. No disrespect to Made in Brazil and Delacruz, but yeah, Twisted's just got more impressive wins. I think they're going to take this one as well. Yeah, Falcons over Twisted. Okay, finally got an all. My bad. Hey, my bad, guys. I've been talking about how much I don't want same region matchups, and I've actually done one on purpose. I wasn't really paying attention to that. Who this team's going to play next. But yeah, you could dodge the same region matchup with Gentlemates winning, which is totally possible, and just have no same region playoff matches, which would be awesome. But yeah, if this does happen, Falcons have taken control of the rivalry. Twisted won the first 3 matches that these two teams played against each other. Falcons won the most recent 2, though, including a grand final. So I think the Falcons probably take it. NRG, Carmine. I mean, I think this is the nightmare scenario for NRG. Their dream scenario would be KC winning up here and going the other side of the bracket, because I think NRG's got a better chance against Falcons than they do against KC. And maybe Twisted can eliminate KC or something, or Gentlemates could eliminate KC. They just beat them. But yeah, I don't remember the last time that NRG beat Zen or Vatira. And yeah, Carmine Corp has Vatira. So I think I'm probably going to have to say Carmine Corp, but I will say 7, more of a Hopium 7 than anything. It was 7 at FIFA E. I think Carmine Corp are better than Team France. I know you're taking Zen out and adding Juicy. Zen's better than Juicy, but Carmine Corp, they actually are a team. Team France was a team for 2 weeks, so I've got to say KC there. I'll switch up some games after this and see what would have happened elsewhere. But okay, we've got the same 2/3 FIFA E Grand Final. We got Vatira again with Juicy. Or did I say you're taking Juicy out? No, you're not. You're taking Atto out for France. My bad. But yeah, Zen Atto. I'd say Zen's better. But yeah, adding an Atto is with all the synergy that KC get. I mean, come on. KC are just, I think they're better than Team France, who NRG couldn't beat. Yeah, same thing applies, even though I got Atto and Juicy mixed up. Same logic. Yeah, I think in the grand final, KC avenged the loss. And let's just say a 4-1, because grand finals are always boring. I think that's probably how it goes. If Falcons win up here, I think grand final, KC learn from their mistakes and they probably get the dub. So Durali will win against his old team up here, and then I think KC will probably win this one. What do you know? Early tournament KC winning. Very adventurous prediction by me, I will admit. But okay, what would have happened if this happens? If KC beat Falcons up here, Falcons still beat Rebellion, yeah. Okay, Twisted still beat Gentlemates. Well, I've still got Twisted beating Gentlemates. Yeah, Falcons definitely. I think NRG have got a better chance of beating Falcons. That's for sure. I don't think they beat KC in the final, though. I think they would probably lose that. So they would need someone else to eliminate Carmine. Probably the best way for that to happen would be Gentlemates coming in and doing it. I'd still favor KC against Gentlemates or Twisted here. But yeah, if you want NRG to win, I think this is your best bracket. 'Cause you just basically want to dodge Carmine. You don't want to play Carmine Corp. Maybe you do want to play Carmine Corp. I don't know. I'm sure the players. Actually, I don't know if the players want to play them because, yeah, when you've lost to the same guy for like what is it now, 18 months? It's got to be more than a year and a half since they've beaten Vatira. When did they last beat Vatira? NRG beat Vatira. It must be 2 years because they did beat them at the World Championship 2 years ago. But yeah, that would be the best chance for NRG to win, is Gentlemates making the final. I think NRG would beat Gentlemates. However, I don't think that's going to happen. This is probably my like prediction I'm going to settle for. But yes, even if this does happen, I would still say that we get the same grand final most likely. NRG have a better chance against Falcons, but I would still take Falcons over them right now. Unless it's in a grand final, then I would say NRG. But this isn't a grand final, so I'll say Falcons. So yeah, even if we do flip this, I probably wouldn't change the grand final. I'd say it's still Carmine Corp winning against Falcons. But yeah, it's just going to be difficult for all the other teams, isn't it? It's just going to be difficult to beat Carmine Corp. Unless you're Gentlemates and you play them in the final, because they can do it allegedly. Archie's beating Vatira in 3 different finals, so maybe that's the way. But yeah, that's my predictions, guys. I've got Carmine Corp winning, Falcons second, Twisted and NRG third could very well be Gentlemates in this instead of Twisted, though. That's a close match. But yeah, that for me, I think that's your clear top three. NRG. Actually, no, this was my predictions. Sorry, I got it mixed up. This was my predictions here. But yeah, I think it could just as easily be Gentlemates making top four, and I think Falcons would be Gentlemates. So, not much changes. If I flip the ones I've got going to Game 7 the other way, not much changes. Unless if NRG win this, I think they do win the final as well. That's what I'll say. So they beat Falcons if they play them in the final. They probably lose to them in any other stage of the tournament. But I reckon KC beat NRG anywhere. Yeah, probably similar. I think Falcons might be the best team outside of the final, and then KC are the best team in overall in the rest. NRG in the final would be my 2 pick. Yes, but it's doable. They're my top 3. Like I said at the start of this, NRG have probably in the percentages got the best chance to win the tournament because they probably make it out of the group 100% of the time. Falcons might get upset by the group. It's not likely. They will probably beat Furia. They always do. But there's an off chance that they don't. A non-zero chance, definitely a bigger chance than NRG not making it out. And KC could legitimately not make it out. They actually could. There's a decent chance they don't. So for that reason, I'll say NRG are tournament favorites. But with the asterisk that if Falcons and KC make it out of their groups, NRG probably move to third. Well, I'll say if they make it out of their groups in first place. Because if they make it out of their groups in the lowers, it's a bit harder. But very interesting format. I like it. It's making me think a lot. Hopefully you guys as well. But yeah, you can let me know in the comments what you think about my extremely bold predictions. Remember to tune into the watch party. Myself, CJ, and also Garrett as well. We're gonna get all the Chalkcast boys together. We're going to co-stream together. It's going to be a great time in Boston in the arena itself. Can't wait. It's been years since I've actually been to an RLCS event and not been working in the official capacity of casting. So while I'm sad to not be casting, I am excited for the chance to just enjoy the event and to stream us watching it to you guys. So definitely tune in. Like I said before, got a bunch of content in the Next Rank channel as well with Jack. So check that out in the description. All links for Chalkcast and the Next Rank in the description. This sheet is from @CodyVRL on Twitter. So head over to his Twitter if you want to find this. It's been on the screen all throughout the video @CodyVRL. And you can find this, do your own predictions, see how it ends up. But yeah, it should be a banger of an event. Most stacked Rocket League event ever. Boston was incredible last time that there was an event there. If this is anything like that, and if the crowd is anything like that crowd, we're going to be in for a treat. So that's everything for this one, guys. I'm going to go and get packed and head to the airport. Well, I'm going to get packed, head to bed, and then head to the airport. But I'll see you guys might see some of you there. Definitely don't be shy. Come say hi. I'm more free than ever. Other Rocket League events I might be busy, but this one only somewhat. And yeah, the rest of you, hopefully we'll see you swing by the stream. We'll see you there. Take care.